In this week's video, I'm going to talk about you taking your fourth driving test, and I'm going to give you some advice and some tips that are going to definitely help you to improve your chances of passing that fourth driving test. So you've got your fourth driving test coming up, and unfortunately the other three haven't gone your way. So you have to kind of look at things with a fresh set of eyes. So first thing, I'm going to give you some tips this time to help you here straight away, is print off your old test reports, all three of them, put them down on a table in front of you and start looking at, is there anything that keeps cropping up? Is the same fault on the first test as a second or third, anything that's kind of keeps cropping up, whether it be observations moving off, whether it be observations at junctions, whether it be the manoeuvre, or whether it be appropriate speeds or use of speed. Any of these faults that keep cropping up, you need to work on them. And if you have been working on them and they keep cropping up, then you need to be working on them more. That's what you've got to say to yourself. Otherwise, it's going to crop up again on the test. And you've got to take a responsibility at this point, which is you can't blame the examiner. You can't blame the other people on the road. You've got to look at yourself and say, well, actually, yeah, they've had faults, the people on the road making me make mistakes, but now I'm better. I should be able to anticipate the dangerous driver, the crazy driver, the speeder. So it's down to you now, that fourth driving test. It's down to you to draw on the experiences of your three previous tests to get to the point where you can pass. So another tip would be, if you're having driving lessons, say at 10 o'clock in the morning, and your test is say at 2 in the afternoon or 2:30, then have some driving lessons in busy times. Because that could be the reason. It could be that every time you took your driving test, it's been in a busy time. Yeah, every time you have a driving lessons, it's quiet. So take your lessons in busier times. You know, it could be after 4 o'clock when the cars are getting quite busy on the road. So get used to busy traffic. Get used to what some of the tricks other drivers do that they cut out, and you can start to anticipate things. And another thing would be, if you're failing because of nerves, then why don't you have people in the back of the car on your driving lesson? Put a bit of pressure on you. So if when that examiner gets in the car with you and you're giving it the shakes, and you think, oh God, I can't cope with this stranger in the car. Next time you have a driving lesson, speak to your instructor or whoever's teaching you, have someone in the back of the car. So if you're being taught by your family member, then say to yourself, right, okay, then what I can do with permission is that if my dad's picking me up, my mum's picking me up from university or from sixth form, is have my mate in the back of the car and drive them home. So that pressure of someone in the back of the car, and you look in your rear view mirror, it's pressure, isn't it, straight away? Or what you could do is have more mock tests. You know, there's plenty of videos out there, people doing mock tests, and you see most people fail on mock tests. You know, do some stupid, silly things that they wouldn't normally do. And it's up to you to kind of learn from that, isn't it? So have a mock test. Get yourself in a position where you feel as though you've done everything you can to pass this next test. You've been out in busy times. You've had people in the car, so you're getting used to strangers in the car. You've been practicing your manoeuvres. If there's a manoeuvre you don't know or you're not very good at, practice it to the point where it just becomes second nature. Because I say to all my students, if you've got 4 manoeuvres to learn and you're good at 3, and that 4th one you're not very good at, it's going to come up on the driving test, and you're going to guarantee you're going to make a mistake on it. And do the manoeuvres in busy times. Don't pick a quiet street. Get good at manoeuvre and then go to a busier area and practice in a busy area where there's more pressure. So put yourself under pressure leading up to your driving test. Give yourself more things to do that's harder. Take the harder roads, the harder roundabouts, the busy times. Go past schools in the busy times, so that you're having to look at everything. The kids running across the road, the parents parking in stupid places, teachers rushing out of school at the end, things like that, or even go when the bin men are out, when they're parking in the middle of the road and you're having to deal with what's beyond the bin men. Are the bin men going to walk out in front of you? Things like that. So put yourself under more pressure on your driving lessons. Ask your instructor, whoever's teaching you, to let's go out in the busy times, because I'm doing fine in the quiet times, but I'm not doing fine on my driving test. I keep failing, so I want to be more pressure. I want to do more things that are going to be harder. So when I take my driving test, I feel as though I'm better prepared. So when you're driving your driving test and someone, you go around the corner, there's a bin truck there, you know what it's like. Give them space, look beyond them. Can I get past? Yeah, show a signal, go around them. So you've already come across most unusual situations. Don't try and avoid them. Try and do them. Try and get good at them. And if you, just say for instance, you're good at all your manoeuvres, then why don't you practice a manoeuvre in a different situation? And here's an example. If you do forward bay park or reverse bay park and you're quite good at them, then ask your instructor or whoever teaching you, let's go to a car park that's on a slope and let's practice that manoeuvre on a slope. See if we can cope with that, see how it's different, see how the car reacts. Do we need power, do we need brake, things like that. And the same sort of thing with parallel park. You know, if you can do a parallel park on a flat, then try it uphill. So you have to get your gas and biting point to reverse up and hill backwards and do the manoeuvre. So give yourself more pressure on your driving lessons, because if you feel like things are going fine, last thing you want to do is take that driving test again and fail. You want to pass that driving test this time. And the only way to do that is to get that standard higher to the point where it's better. And just going back to when people suffer from nerves, and I understand, you know, nerves plays a part with lots of people. If you're a nervous person, then you want to kind of prepare yourself for the pressure. And I've talked about tips what you can do, like manoeuvres and going out at different times of the day. But if you really think that the nerves is going to make you drive completely different, then you need to kind of prepare yourself, your body, to cope with the pressure. I'll put a link below to maybe a couple of websites for people who specialise in driving test nerves. That might help you. Hopefully it will. Do what you can to feel as though that when you take your driving test next, you are ready to pass that test. Okay? I hope this helps you. If it does, fantastic. And remember, it's only a driving test. Take care, safe driving. Good luck on the test.